Hi guys, thank you for coming. By the way, which of you are in? Raise your hand if you're already in the UGA Mario Kart Discord. Okay, cool. All of us are in. We're good. I was just double checking. I don't think I've met all of you, but I know most of you. My name is Spoon, and I'm gonna be explaining to you competitive Mario Kart. So here we go. Okay, first of all, there are some requirements. There's really only three main requirements. The first one, you need a Switch. Some of you brought Switches today. Thank you. Second requirement is you need Mario Kart. Depending on, we have a team for both World and 8 Deluxe, but yeah, you just need your Switch. And then the third requirement that you do need is an internet connection. Now the fourth thing I would highly recommend is getting the Booster Force Pass. If you don't have that, it's $25 one-time purchase, and if you have that, then you have access to 48 more tracks, which is really important. And yeah, I kind of just slapped on the prices there, but I think most of you already have that stuff. Okay, so why do our opinions matter? Here's a little bit of our legacy. UGA Mario Kart has gotten first in D2 Mario Kart World. We've gotten third in D1 A Deluxe. We've gotten fourth in NRC, which is a different type of tournament in D1. And then I've gotten first in D4 on MKU Bench Rider, but still happened. And then we've also stayed within D1 and 2 for the last 4 years of both CKL and NRC, which, although sounds like a pretty standard stat, is pretty impressive when you compare it to even other super teams that play Mario Kart. So it's pretty impressive. Also, UGA Mario Kart loves LANs. If you don't know what a LAN is, it's an in-person tournament where we all come together and play in person. My opinion, those are the best kind of tournaments because everybody's there. It's better experience. You get to meet people and like see faces, so it's definitely better. And there's some statistics there. I think actually Luckstone, you're the one who got 10th at DreamHack 2024. Is that true? I think you're the one.
Really?
I think so. Which is
Did I get a better spot?
yeah, but he wasn't at UGA.
Oh, okay.
Wait, maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, one of us at UGA got 10th at the largest LAN of all time, over 750 players. Cool stat, I don't know. But I hope that means something if you don't know how serious we are about being competitive, but we also like to have fun, so yep. All right, here is the format for Collegiate Karting League. That's the main league. It is a 6v6 race. I was actually going to do a question on this. Okay, can anyone, the first person to tell me, I have a starburst. The first person to tell me how many points total are in a 12 race 6v6 match. And it's really easy because half of it is right there. Raise your hand.
Almost.
Anyone? Okay, Green, what you got? 984. Yes, 984. Here's a red starburst. Yeah, it's
Oh,
half
wait,
that.
That's not what I thought you were asking.
It also says
Oh,
with 984 total points on the line.
No, I thought you were asking how many is in a single race.
No. Sorry, yeah. In a single race, there's not that many. But as you can see, oh yes, it is for Mario Kart. Welcome. You can just find a seat wherever we just started.
My name's Ben.
Oh, nice to meet you. Okay. So yeah, our competitive format is 6 versus 6, 150 cc's. Sorry to the 200 cc lovers. And it's also on solo race setting, not team setting, which means you can hit your teammates. I know it sucks. Team tags are also on. Let me show you guys what a team tag is, just so you know, with my handy dandy board over here. Okay. Our tag is UGA, which is really easy to remember. I don't know if you knew, but you go to UGA. So that's our tag. And then here's my username. You put your username here. Now, if this was my name, that would get us a penalty, so that's bad. What you want is to put a separator in here. I usually put a period. You can put a star. You can put
a space even.
a space. Yes, you can put anything as long as you have a separator between your name and the tag. That's all you need. It's just your username on your Switch. If you need help, we can help you with that. Yeah.
We'll tell you if your tag is weird as well.
That too.
Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Or it looks like there is a space, but it's like
Oh yeah, I didn't mean
they
to.
don't like squish them together.
Yeah. Anyways, you need a separator. The other only thing really that you need to worry about in terms of penalty is repicking tracks. Once a track has been selected in one of the 12 races, we can't repick it, or else we get 20 points minus. What's up?
So for wars, is it a best of 3, right? Or no?
That
So for tournaments, once we get to playoffs, it is a best of 3 of 12 races, which is 36 races if we get to the third war. It's a lot. That's 3 hours of Mario Kart.
Right.
Now, hopefully, first of all, we only play 2 of those and we win the first 2. And second of all, during the regular season, it's only 1 match.
So it's only one, just 12 races.
Yes,
Fun.
which
So
takes
Nice.
about 45 minutes on average, I would say,
45 once it starts.
without disconnects. So, yeah. Anyways, 45 minutes, 12 races, 150cc, 6v6. Let's get into it. Okay, can anyone tell me? I actually have a lot of Starbursts, so I'm gonna do 3. Can 3 people raise their hand and tell me a meta character? Go ahead.
Yoshi.
Yes, Yoshi is meta.
Daisy.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
You don't get it. I'm sorry.
Wiggler? Okay, I'm so sorry. Can I give you a Starburst anyways? Do you want a Starburst?
Sure.
Okay, I just want to give people Starburst, so. And you can go ahead.
Nuki Mario.
Yes, actually, I will accept Tanuki Mario. So, sorry if I threw that. First of all, I'm sorry to the people. I know there's at least one person here that plays Inside Drift. I don't like Inside Drift. It is technically meta, so that's
What? Wait, actually?
Yeah, Inside Drift is meta.
Hell yeah!
It is slower, but it's still meta.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it's slower, but it's still meta. By meta, I just mean you can use it online and it's still viable.
And it's-
Yes. If you are using Wiggler, I will tell you right now, you will probably be like at least 50% slower than everybody else. Even the people that are just as fast as you, strategic wise. It's pretty bad. Low mini turbo. Okay, so
Yeah, a little bit of does kind of.
yeah, as you can see, this is the meta. At least from my opinion, there's some discrepancy. So Yoshi, Birdo, Daisy, and Peachette all have the exact same stats. If you didn't know, those are the characters you should be picking if you want to do the best you can. Now, if you want to mix it up a little bit, you can pick Tanuki Mario. Tanuki Mario is pretty good, and I like him. Some people on our team like Tanuki Mario too. Also, Male Villager and Clean Boy. There's a few more. As far as carts go, Teddy Buggy is what I suggest for anyone who's not insanely good at the game. Like Green JC is insanely good at the game. Because Scooty has really high mini turbo, and you will see Scooty even in some world records. Now, does that mean Scooty is faster? Yes. But what Scooty is not faster at is when you're not doing every single mini turbo strat. In those cases, Teddy Buggy's faster. So for most of you in here, I would suggest you use Teddy Buggy. It's probably going to be better. Also, it has 4-wheel switch. Sounds weird, but it handles a little bit better, especially on some of the slippery tracks or something. So anyways, there's also Cat Cruiser. Technically has the same stats as Teddy Buggy, but it's really clunky. And then Bitty Buggy is also same stats as Scooty. Rollers are the only wheels you should ever be choosing. If you're choosing anything else, I might ask you to switch off of it.
GLX.
Yeah, it could be known as like, what's the term? Like trolling a little bit, but that, you know what, it's okay. And then gliders, I don't really care. They don't matter a lot, but yeah, that's our meta.
Considered the best ones because they raise your mini turbo.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know any questions I can ask off of this, but this is our competitive glossary. If you didn't know, running is when you're just driving fast. You're taking the lines that you know that are fast. Bagging is when you're getting good items in the back, not just to have them, but to use them to catch up at the end of the race or before the end of the race. Because if you didn't know in Mario Kart, it doesn't matter how fast you go, it matters who finishes first, okay? Dodges are also an important word to know. If we say dodge, what we mean is a bullet bill, ghost. We also mean stars. Those are gonna keep you from getting hit by the shock. And we'll talk about the shock a lot later, but as you can see, it's also on the board. Shock is also the lightning bolt item, which is the most important item in the entire game. If you didn't know, it hits everyone else, and it makes them lose their items. I'm a little out of breath.
Effect lasts for a really long time at 8.
Yes, yeah, totally. The other thing you need to know mainly is NISC. NISC stands for no item shortcut. Those are just going to be the shortcuts that you can take without a mushroom. And we'll get to more of those later. Also, lounge is important to know. This is outside of CKL. It's a community-led thing where basically there's a new ranking system instead of VR, which is what you have when you play Worldwides. There's a different ranking system called MMR, where it's a lot harder to progress because you're consistently being put against players at your same skill level. So
And you play a long set of 12 races to the end and use your score that you get instead of just like pop on a worldwide for 3 races and then.
yeah, if you want to see more lounge, go check out like JP Givner, I don't know, Shortcat, stuff like that.
This is not like immediately relevant to CKL, but it's just like another good thing to know.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you want to do some solo practice, it's probably the best place you can get some practice in.
Agreed. It's also gonna probably make you want to hate your life, and that's okay.
True.
And that's okay. That's part of it.
Period after a bogey that you don't do well, and it's a pretty dire moment.
If you didn't know, actually, Mario Kart is the most rage-inducing game in the world. So, if you get a little mad, that's okay. We'll keep moving. We keep a positive mental. That's what having a team is for.
They both have cars.
Okay, moving on to track types. Can anyone tell me how many track types there are? And this is a trick question, and I'm only going to give a starburst to the correct answer. I'm not letting you answer right now, but I might later.
Runners, baggers, and streamers.
Okay, that's good, but no.
Me?
Yeah, Rufa.
I was gonna say there's tracks where you do 3 laps, and there's tracks where it's one type, one all the way. And I know that's not. I don't
That's
know
an interesting answer.
Yeah, it's not what you meant by the question, but
No, also this is very subjective, so that's, yeah. That is a good answer, though. What you got? No. But I like four. Which four do you have in mind?
Runners, baggers,
Okay,
shrooms, and drafters.
that's good. I like that. Anybody else? Okay, cool. The reason I said it was a trick question, and if you want Starburst, by the way, oh wait, did you want to? Two? No, I'm sorry, it's not two. I have Starburst if you want some later. Anyways, the number of track types is however many you want, because track types are completely dependent on the team. I have some examples here, though. We're gonna go through them. So some of these people, some of y'all said these earlier, but we have runners. These are just ones where we're gonna be running the whole time. There's also baggers. Baggers are ones where we're gonna have people stay in the back intentionally. Usually not at the very beginning of the race, unless it's a very hard bagger. But like Cheeseland, Yoshi Circuit, we're gonna have some people in the back. Snowland, yeah, that's a good one. There's also resetters. I didn't hear anyone mention this one. This is why I said it's very subjective based on the team, because resetters are something that you can use, and they're very skill-based tracks. DK Summit, Royal Raceway. These are tracks that your team is good at, and you know the other team isn't. So it doesn't matter your placement, but you should usually be picking these tracks. What's up?
So like, reset is a very situational with the team you're playing against. Then.
Yes.
Technically, it really does depend on like local skill levels.
Yeah, it can be. Like, if we're really, really good at Mute City, there's probably not a lot of teams that are good at Mute City. So that would be a type of resetter.
Like Athens Dash.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, something that your team is good at. The other team's skill level does impact the choice a little bit, but ultimately it's more about how good your team is at a track.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Next up we have drafters, streamers. You guys said these. These are tracks where you can shroom up at the beginning, or if you didn't know, if you stay behind someone for long enough, you catch a draft and you can easily pass them. Another type I didn't hear anyone mention, anti-ones. These are the ones where the enemy has first and we have 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. These are tracks we should be picking if the enemy has first place and we really need to get back in the front. We don't have to pick them. We can pick like drafters, but there are some well-known ones. Ice Ice Outpost is really good. So is Moo Moo Meadows. Yeah, and then like I said, there's more. It's definitely built more on the team. So we can make track lists later of what types we like or whatever as the season progresses. If you didn't know, the actual tournament schedule doesn't start until September 24th, I want to say. That sounds right in my head. So we've got a long time, and in the meantime, we'll just be learning more about the game and playing some scrimmages. So, yep. Okay, next up. This is the most important thing in all of competitive Team Mario Kart. Now, can someone tell me, speaking of the most important thing, there's also the most important thing to communicate. Can someone tell me, for a starburst, what is the most important thing to communicate?
Shock.
Yes, you got it. That was a gimme. I'm so sorry. Shock is the most important thing in all of communicating. Like I said earlier, it's the most important item, but that also means that we should be keeping track of the shock at all times. Now, there's going to be some advanced things that I'll go into earlier, but just to go through it, there is cadences. So obviously, we're going to all be in a Discord call together communicating, but when it comes to shock, When we pull the shock, we should be saying either 3, 2, 1, activate, or get ready, activate. Now, what that means is when I'm saying 3, 2, 1, activate, in that 3, 2, 1 period, you should be using your dodge, that star, the ghost, or the bullet bill. You should be using those items. When I say get ready, you should also be using it. Then when you say activate, that's when someone uses the shock. It's pretty self-explanatory, but just want to go through it. I will say, in terms of dodging, especially when it comes to a countdown from 3, if we're all using our dodges on 3 instead of 1, it becomes very easy for the other team to predict when we're going to use our shock. So, if we all use our items, our dodges, at the 1 instead of the 3, it becomes very hard for the other team to predict what we're going to do. The other thing we can do is target shock. When the enemy team is over a gap, does anyone know the Mushroom Gorge gap jump? Yes. You guys know how to do that? Cool. That's a very good example. When the other team is over the gap jump, we should be using shock. When we're over the gap jump, we should not be using shock. When we're in a glider, we should be using shock. The shock does not actually slow down someone in a glider. It only removes their item, which is pretty useful. And then I think that's it for the shock for now. We'll go into a little bit more advanced stuff later, but I think that's what I had.
I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
One thing to worry about with this is, yes, try and hold your dodge as long as you can before it gets activated, but be aware of Discord delay because it will kill you if you're waiting too long.
I will say, if you're using Discord on a PC, laptop, whatever, download Discord instead of using the web version because there's more delay on the web version.
I find that whenever I'm on the shock, I like get ready to activate calls. I wait maybe a quarter of a second after I hear activate just to give people time.
Yeah.
Also, not really talked about. Theoretically you can also dodge shock by purposely falling off the map, which is a different technique.
Yeah, you can do that. That's more useful, I would say, for if we pull multiple shocks.
Yeah.
Because if someone has a shock, they can't dodge the shock, so they can fall off and dodge the shock.
Save one.
Yeah. We can get into more of that later for examples and stuff, because that is really niche, but yes, definitely important. What you got?
What's the frequency of the shock? Like, how many times do you fall on shock on a race?
Oh, I thought you meant like hertz. I was like, what?
It depends, honestly.
I mean, yeah, it obviously depends on the track, but
Well, even aside from the track, it just depends on what your back presence is. You need to make sure that part of playing around shock is making sure that you always have someone in the back watching it. Right. Sometimes you'll have 3 people back, sometimes you'll have 1. And the shock odds, I'd say maybe you expect if teams are actually going for it, maybe every other race.
Honestly, with the newest bagging update, I would say once every other race, but it does highly depend on, is your team going for shock, is the other team going for shock?
So 6 out of 12 races, I'm gonna see a shock.
Yes, at least.
If both teams are playing around it, then probably something like that.
Do you have a question?
I just want to know.
Yeah.
Is there a industry timer I can look at shock?
Wait, what do you mean?
Because Mario Kart Wii, you can't get
At the start of the race, there's a 30-second timer before it can be pulled.
Yes.
And also
After it's used, there's also a 30-second timer, which is really useful. For instance, DK Mountain, that has a cannon glider. I'll go into this kind of stuff later. There's even more stuff on shock. If you haven't realized it yet, shock is really important. DK Mountain has a cannon glider. That cannon glider makes the shock odds increase drastically because the distance from first place goes up really high. On that track, if we see the other team use the shock, obviously we'll see it, but if the other team uses their shock, we have a 30-second cooldown before we can pull shock again, or they can pull shock again. So if it's lap 3, there's really not going to be another shock pulled, so we don't have to worry about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the one outlier is if somehow multiple shocks are in play and they manage to dodge the person that has the second shock, and then there might be a backup one that they can spin to.
I thought it was impossible for one person to get a shock at the time.
Actually, up to 3.
1 for 30 seconds. In this game, up to 3 can be pulled. After it's used, there's 30-second timer, but there can be 3.
Yeah.
I totally thought it was
3 shocks can be in play at once, which also means, like Luxstone was saying earlier, we can pull more than 1 shock, which is a niche case, but if it does happen,
super common. It does not happen very frequently.
yeah, if it does happen, we need to use everything in our power to have one of the people who has a shock dodge it.
Yeah.
Because if the person holding the other shock dodges with it, that means we have a shock and the other team has absolutely no clue because they think the 30-second cooldown just started. It's a really good strategy, but it is pretty advanced.
And shock only hits people in front of the person with shock.
That's in World. In this game, it hits everybody.
Okay.
Yep. The rich get richer in this game, unfortunately. Okay, let's go into a little bit of defense and counterplay. Speaking of shock, if we have the shock and a blue shell is out and we're in first place, we should not use the shock until the blue is very close to first place. Because if we use it and then first place gets blue shelled again, first place just lost about 10 seconds to everyone else, which is really bad. So what we should be doing is using the shock very close to when the blue is going to hit them, and that means the person in first place should be calling it. But we should be using it very close to when they get hit so that they only get hit once instead of twice. And that also just lets everyone else know around the time limit that they have before the shock's going to be used so that we're all aware of it. The number one thing about using the shock, I would also say, is even if you don't have a dodge to dodge the shock, you know if our team has it when we're going to use it, and the other team doesn't. So whether or not you dodge, we should have the advantage if we're using it, even if we have less dodges or just as many dodges. So the other thing I would say is chaining dodges. That is severely important. If we're on a track like we just talked about earlier with the baggers, where it's Yoshi Circuit, it's Cheeseland, you know, the kind of thing where you're in the back for 30 seconds, we should be chaining dodges. What does that mean? Chaining dodges means that there should be no downtime between when I use my dodge and then when green uses or hero uses their dodge. So that means that we're consistently in dodges so that if the other team does use their shock and we're not ready, then we're dodging it anyways. So
It guarantees that there's at least one person that does not get hit by an enemy shock at all times.
Yep.
If we, as long as we keep pulling enough dodges to maintain that, we should be going for it.
yeah, and the reason, like the easiest way to do that is if you watch your mini map and you can just glance at it every now and then, you don't have to like stare at it. You should be driving also, eyes on the road. But if you watch your mini map, you'll be able to see when your teammates are popping out of their ghosts, when their stars in, all sorts of that stuff, bullet bills in, that kind of thing. So yeah, chaining dodges also very important. Next thing is cooldowns. We just talked about it. I'm not going to go into it again, but yes, there's a 30-second cooldown between when the shock can be pulled, after the shock is used, and in the beginning of the race. And there's also a 30-second cooldown that works the exact same way with the blue shell, except only one blue shell can be pulled. So that's the only thing you got to know. Next up, we got general callouts and item communication. We should not have more than, I would say, about 5 to 10 seconds between someone saying something. We should always be calling out our spots, because if we don't know where our teammates are, even if you see them around you, like if I don't know that we have bottom 2, then I'm like, oh my gosh, the other team is really good odds to pull the shock. So if I know that we have 2 people in 10 and 11, then I know that we have the odds to pull the shock as well, and I don't have to worry about the shock affecting us. The other thing is also call your items. If I have triple green shells and I'm right next to Luckstone, I should probably say, hey Luckstone, I have triple green shells. I'm going to go wide and slow down, hit the B button. You just go ahead, and then I'll defend. So we should be calling out our items. Call out your actions as well. Kind of the same thing that I just said. If you're trailing and you have a teammate behind you, you should either get rid of your item immediately as soon as you don't hit the other person, or you should slow down and let the other person pass you. Another thing, kind of small, but it has affected us before. Please ask before you use the ghost. I will explain that in a little bit, but basically, if you have a ghost and you use it without telling us, you could steal a super horn from first place. You could steal a star from someone who's about to dodge the shock, and then you dodge the shock and they don't, which kind of works, but also we could have had 2 dodges. We also, could just steal a lot of things. This has affected us in the past, and if it happens, it's okay. All you need to do before you use the ghost, say, hey, I'm about to use ghost, is that okay? Actually, that's really long. Just say, can I ghost? Yeah, just say, can I ghost? And if you don't hear a reply within like 3 seconds, go ahead and use it. The odds are that we probably don't care if you use the ghost, and you're probably fine. Also, especially if you're about to get hit. If you're about to get hit, go ahead and use that ghost. Another thing, team play is be proactive. We should be saying, hey, let me pass, or you pass me, whatever. We should be working together as a team to be able to hit the other team, get in the front. Call out blue shell before throwing. Should have mentioned this when we did the blue, but it's also here. Before you throw the blue shell, even if The other team is all yellow Yoshi, and we're all red Yoshi. If you see yellow Yoshi in front, should you just throw the blue shell anyways? No. You should call out, hey, I have blue, can I throw it? If we say throw the blue, then you can throw it. That's up to the people who are in the front. If something like that happens, what's happened before to me, and I don't know if it's happened to UGA specifically, but what can happen is we'll throw the blue shell, and the person in second place reds the person in first, gets in first place, just to get blue shelled by their own teammate. So that can happen all the time. Just make sure you're calling it out. If the person tells you to throw the blue and it hits them anyways, that's on them, not on you. So, yep, blue shell,
And
very
one
important.
thing I will say is that we're throwing a lot of information at you. A lot of this is like in the moment, it makes more sense. You'll learn it by doing. Like don't worry about trying to memorize everything that's being told to you right now. It'll
Oh, yeah.
all come back up.
Yeah, this is also recorded, so if you ever want to come back to this, but absolutely what Luxtone was saying, honestly, probably at least 50% of this, because you guys probably know a good chunk of it already, 50% of this, you're not even going to know what it means, like, until you're in that moment, where it's like, oh, wait, yeah, I should call it the blue shell, like, duh. But anyways, yeah, it's very important to put it into practice. Yeah, go ahead.
Just going back to the ghost thing, like, call will be pretty chaotic in general, and we try to keep it as organized as possible, but one thing that's been definitely hurt, especially the players in the back, is like holding on to items too long, trying to like wait until like they get like super concrete like permission from people in the front to use items and stuff. So use your best judgment, especially with like if like you already kind of mentioned, if you have the ghost and you need to use it, if you say can I ghost and nobody is like immediately like no ghost, then
Just use it.
yeah, don't wait for 5
Odds are that
don't
you
wait
will
for 5
benefit
people
more
to
than
say
the other
it's good.
person because they weren't going to use anything anyways. Yeah, that's good. Okay, next up we have item play and positioning. I'm trying to think of a question, but all I could think of was a really easy give me. But I'm going to do it anyways.
What's the best position to be in?
Well, almost that bad, but yeah, actually worse maybe. How many players play in a single race of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Wow.
Yeah, it's 12. So there are 12 players. I actually forgot to put the slide in.
Fucking X button, sir.
Yeah, okay. There are 12 players in the race. That will be important later. The most important things to know to master your position is using the X button and looking at the map. If you haven't realized, I circled the X button. Can anybody tell me what the X button does? Wow, you're really eager. You go ahead.
What's behind you?
Yes, rearview mirror. That is very important.
Smack that button.
Now, go ahead.
You can use it to refresh camera to see the name tags.
Also important. That's good. That's ball knowledge.
Somebody told me that.
Yeah, if you use the X button and let go immediately, you can actually regenerate the names in front of you of the players who are next to you. If you didn't know that. Yeah. It refreshes the names. But yes, the X button is probably in terms of learning what to do. X button is the most important thing because if you're looking only in front of you, you're only seeing 50% of what you can actually see. If you can see behind you too, you're seeing all of it, and that gives you a lot more information. Now, I will say that's going to take a lot of practice. Oh, Grayson, what's up, bro?
Grayson.
Hey, I'm going to have to mark you as tardy. I'm sorry, dude. It's just, I got to do it.
First day and everything.
Yeah, man. So, yes, the X button is really important. Make sure you're using that. Honestly, as we're in scrimmages, I would suggest to you guys to use the X button even when you're uncomfortable with it, because if you use it more and more, you'll become more comfortable with using it. So yeah, X button is important. Also the minimap, we mentioned it earlier. You can see when your teammates are in dodges. You can see where your teammates are. You can see where the enemy is. You can see how many bullet bills are in play. So many things you can see on the minimap. You can see where the blue shell is at all times. Pretty important stuff. You need to have the minimap on and you need to be looking at it. So, yes. Go ahead.
Singapore speedway.
Actually, I have no clue, but yeah, that sounds right.
Singapore speedway.
I just pulled it off of Google, bro.
You can see like the part where like you're at the like glider after the cannon and like you're coming around over the big.
All I really see is this, and I don't know what is this.
That's the big thing you jump out of. Like,
Yeah,
like,
alley.
like, you're-
And then on the left side there's Chinatown.
like lap 3, you're coming through this way, you land in a little like grassy area
Oh,
that has like
yeah,
the house,
okay.
you come back around this way.
I get it now. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, I had no clue. I just pulled that off of Google Images. Okay, mastering your position. These are what you should be doing in these spots. First or third place. You are at the front of the pack. You are in a top spot. What you should be doing is focusing on good driving and defense. If we're top 3, that means first, second, and third. You should be focusing on, if you're in third place, defending for the people in front of you. That means trailing your items. That means throwing items backwards if the teammate is not behind you. That means making sure that nobody passes you. If you're in first place, you should be cycling for items. For a bomb, for a super horn, those items are really important in first place, and if we have them, we can control the match. What you got?
I will say, you need to be cycling, yes. Do not prioritize your safety first. If you are safe and there's a teammate behind you, that's when you start cycling.
Yeah, that's
Like,
good.
make sure you
Oh,
have
more hands.
By yourself, hold on to the coin and have you dispense items.
Yeah.
Correct.
Posterior
But if we're
coin.
first, second, and third, you should be cycling.
Yeah, totally.
What you got?
Expand on the bomb being in first. Why is that valuable?
If you didn't know, the bomb in this game, unlike in Mario Kart World, has basically aimbot, especially on a glider. The bomb will explode if it's within a certain radius, which is almost as big as the radius of the explosion, on the person it's targeting. Which means even if you're not good at like banana snipes or whatever, if you can throw an item forward, you can probably hit someone with the bomb. It's not that hard.
Put in first.
Yeah, you can pull them in first.
Yeah, you pull them in first.
You can pull double bombs in first actually, which is ridiculous.
It's
Why?
evil.
Why? Now, I'm not Nintendo, I can't answer that question. Maybe you can see me in office hours and we'll talk about it. But yeah, that's okay. Next up, we got the pack, 4th through 8th place. This is honestly, in my opinion, the most fun place to be in competitive team mode Mario Kart.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you why, because that sounds pretty strange. You're not first place. First place, you know, everybody loves first place. 4th through 8th place is the most fun because you can make the most impact. This is where you're going to get triple items, you're going to get boomerangs, you're going to get fire flower. You can hit so many of the enemy players so many times and make a huge impact on the race in the long term. Now, you do have 2 goals. You also have a goal to protect your runner as well as to hit out the enemies. Hitting out the enemies is my favorite thing. I like to hit people with items. So yeah, that's why I like it so much. Next we have the back, 9th through 12th. I didn't really put a slide in here, but as far as item probabilities go, 9th through 12th are the only places where you can pull a shock. Realistically, if you're in 9th place, you're probably not going to pull a shock unless we're on DK Mountain, DK Summit, something with a cannon glider. Now, if you're in 10th through 12th place, you can pull a shock. Shock, as we have discussed over and over again, is the most important item in the game. So, what should you be doing in the back? You should be pulling your power items, the dodges that we were talking about, the stars, the bills, the ghosts. You should also be looking for the shock. Now, does that just mean getting the shock? No. That also means looking at the other players, especially on the enemy team, and seeing, do they have a shock in their hand? Because yes, you can see what items people are holding, unlike for some items in Mario Kart World. I don't know why they did that. Anyways,
They've been adding more and more back over time. I think eventually.
they added the horn back. Yeah,
Horns you can finally see now, like.
which should have been a thing already. What you got?
You're gonna have to give me a refresher on the back real quick. So
Okay.
if I'm on Cheese Land and I'm bagging
Go ahead.
and I know you can't sit on an item box anymore, right? Like you can't just randomly stop.
I will get into that later because in some instances, yes, you can, but not an item.
Because you can't just like always cycle power items. They cut it off eventually, right?
So you can pull 2 power items unless you're at a moving item set. Your favorite track, Baby Park, has moving item sets.
Yes.
That means you can sit at a set as long as you want, and you will still pull powerful items in the back.
I didn't know that. That's
Yes.
actually okay.
So if you're bagging and someone in the front says, "Oh my gosh, we need a shock because we're 4th through 12th," or I mean that's not 6 players, but you know what I mean.
We're like they're like top 4. Like
Yeah, if they have a lot of top presence and we're a lot in the back, we probably need a shock. What you should be doing, unless it's a moving item set, is chaining 2 items at every set. I'll get more into that later. I actually do have a slide on about chaining items and stuff.
Go with the devil.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? What you got?
Two things to add. So just adding on to the thing that Lexi added, when you're chaining items and first trying to get horns and stuff, keep in mind your own safety, but also your teammates. Like don't just don't just throw items after you get people figure it out. If you're trying to cycle.
Usually, if you're in the back, like if you're in 11th, throw it backwards. Don't throw it forwards. You know.
Yeah, but in front, it can be dangerous to throw it backward, and it can be dangerous to throw it forward. It's it's so easy to hit yourself.
In general, if you throw stuff like shells forward, they will find a way to hit you.
That's also true.
Yeah, so cycle items, but prioritize yours and your teammates' safety over cycling.
Yeah.
Also, another note about the back is, in addition to being like the lowest, as the only places that you can pull shock, like the ninth place is also the highest spot where you can, or the lowest. What am I saying? The highest spot where you can no longer pull items that don't help you catch up, like plants or green shells and stuff. So if you're trying to make a comeback, then you do not. Then like a ninth place box is way better than an eighth place box.
Yeah, that's good.
Where's the eighth place item? Where's the eighth item box? Like the eighth item? Where do you get?
Oh, the 8 item.
Is that only in the back?
You can pull that in 9 through 12. I think you pull it 6th and lower. I want to say.
I feel like it should be highest.
There's an item probability website. I can go into it later.
I would love to go into because the distribution.
It's called mkblog.com. I'll drop it in the Discord, and afterwards, if you want to come look at it, I can show you. People have literally gone into the netcode of this game and figured out what the probabilities are of each item. So yes, that does exist. Good stuff. All right. Next up, we have formations. Now, we wouldn't be a team if we didn't coordinate. Obviously, we talked about communication already. There's also formations for the tracks we're on. If we're on a runner, we should not be doing run 3, back 3. I should not see someone say, I'm going to back for shock on the first lap of TikTok clock. If you're doing that, I'm going to tell you, what are you doing? I'm not going to say get off the team, because that would be mean. And also, we wouldn't do that. But I am going to say, what are you doing? But if we're on a bagger like Snowland, and we're all running, I'm also going to say, what are we doing? I'm going to say we should be in the back. We should be doing some more checks on the shock. All right, so some formations that we could do. We have run 6, run 5. This is where we have most everyone running. This is going to be towards the end of a race, always. On lap 3 of a race, we should always be trying to catch up, pretty much. I can't think of an instance where we want to be. Nah, even on cheese liners.
Lap 3, you can still catch up. I mean,
Yeah.
If you know the identifier of it.
Yeah, I feel like on lap 3, you should always be catching up. There should never be a moment, unless you're in a very dire situation and you have like 1 coin in 12th place where you need to back up for an item set. Also, we have run 4, back 2. This is what we should be doing in most cases. We should usually have 2 people within 9th to 12th place. Now, what this does for us, another term that I didn't talk about in terms of shock odds is called, what am I thinking of?
You're the professor.
Is it literally just shock odds?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. It's just called odds. If I say we have half odds, that means we have 2 people in the back. If I say we have full odds, that means we have 4 of the bottom 12 spots. If I say we have 1/4. What?
4 of the bottom 12
always
spots.
got
That's
6 of
80 of them.
Wait, what?
You said bottom
Or
12.
4 of the, yeah, 4 of the bottom 12.
All 4 of the bottom, like,
4 of the bottom
the
4.
the bottom 4 spots, not 4 of the bottom 12. That could be first, second, third, fourth.
Okay, whatever. You get what I'm saying. If we're 9 through 12,
If we are bottom 4.
we have full odds. Yes, if we're 9 through 12, we have full odds.
Next time we're top 6, I'm going to say we have 6 of the bottom 12 odds.
Okay, whatever. All right. Yeah. Okay. So run 4, back 2. This is what we should usually be doing. This just makes it so we don't have to worry about the shock most of the time. But towards the end of the lap 3, anyways, we should just be catching up. The only other thing you have to really know is run 3, bag 3. You'll probably hear us at the beginning of a race, if it's a bagger, say, let's do 3 and 3. What that means, you should be speaking up and you should be saying, I'm going to bag or I'm going to run. That lets us know how many people we have running and bagging. If we have 5 people bagging on a bagger, that could work out, but it also is highly risky. We should usually only be having 3 people full out bag for the shock, for the powerful items in the back. I put some formations from football in here. Yeah, formations. Any questions? Cool. What you got?
I was just gonna say, in general, like this is ideas primarily. A lot of it is just like, if you're bagging at the start, that just means don't be throwing attack and throwing it to the front. Like usually that just means like go for coins for a while, see how we end up after like 20 seconds. And then if we're doing pretty bad, that's when you actually fully stop and try and get the fly back. If we're
Yeah.
doing fine, you can just stay maybe in the pack range, try and get like some like shroom or something to come up later.
Now, I will say some of our more experienced players may straight up tell you, catch up or slow down. If Green JC tells you to slow down, you better slow down. You are getting off his team, so help me.
That's not
All right.
true,
No, not actually true. But yeah, if someone else tells you to slow down, you should probably slow down. That just means that we need more people in the back, which is important. It doesn't mean that they're telling you that you're not important. It actually means that they're telling you,
we need you.
yeah, we need you. We need you. We're depending on you to go in the back. All right, formations. Cool. How to improve the next steps. I'm going to go through these. We'll talk about, I have some more stuff after this. But anyways, we have time trials. If you didn't know, there is a single player mode called time trials. I know we hate time trials, but it's really, really, really important.
Some people find them boring.
Question.
I find them boring,
Are we
yes.
gonna do weekly time trials?
Actually, probably
No, dude, why?
against my own will.
No.
Now, if you don't know what Hero's talking about, weekly time trials is where we'll post a time trial track, which is like a singular track that we'll choose, and then a goal time for you to get. These are usually not going to be insanely hard, but it's also a competition against your teammates to see who can get the best time. What's up?
I don't want to beat my time trials if I set them 2017.
That is so valid. I'm going to tell you, make another Nintendo account and set it on there, because you can do that.
Okay.
But yes, I understand because I have some too. Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, time trials are really important, guys. The main thing that I would say for time trials, if you don't know what you're doing, go ahead, go to the online ghosts, look at the world record, watch it. You are not going to be able to do what the world record does. What's up?
Basic.
Basic is good at making tutorials. Yeah, there's YouTube tutorials as well. What you got?
I highly recommend, rather than watching the world record, friends like Mirror Spoon and use Argos instead, because world record will do stuff that's would be super risky to do online, stuff that's just
Yeah, you can also, like, for friends on the Switch, you can download Green or Ice time trial, which mine are not. Just download Greens. Don't do
we
much.
have like decent times
Yeah.
that are good enough for online.
I think that if you, like, in general, there's going to be, like, sort of, depending on where you are at skill-wise, some are actually better at it. There's going to be just a range of time where it's like, I am this many seconds off of the world record.
I was going to say,
every track.
for reference, I have 2,000 hours, over 2,000 hours in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a lot. I'm sorry. But also, my goal usually is within 3 seconds of world record, which is really tough.
It's
So,
hard.
Yeah. I would say for most of y'all, within like 5 to 7 seconds is pretty doable. Yeah, and if you need help, please consult one of the other teammates. We know what we're doing, and we can help you. Lounge and worldwides, we talked about this earlier. If you want to just chill and play worldwides, that's totally okay. That does count as like practice, you know? You can learn more about your items. You can learn more about shock probabilities, stuff like that. You can pay attention to the stuff you learned today and apply it into those races, even though this is for team formats. Lounge, we talked about it earlier. You're going to hate your life, but I will say it is very important if you want to improve. So you can do that. Nah, not really. Scrimmages, we're going to run these. My goal for this semester, after this week, because we have a lot of events going on right now, after this week, it's going to be once or twice a week, which is pretty doable. Those are just going to be weeknights. So between 8 to 10 p.m., Monday through Friday, somewhere in there. And you guys will get a ping in the Discord server. So just let us know your availability. If you can't make it, we get it. If you can make it, cool, we'll see you there. Scrimmage, oh wait, comms, yeah, use the X button. Okay, advanced tech. Once you have done these things before, there's also some advanced tech that you could be using. Some of you have probably learned about all of these, but there's super bouncing, delay drifting, soft drifting, NISC, and low gliders. I'm not really going to go into detail about those, but if you have questions, please ask me. Those help you go faster. Okay, advanced tech and theory. Do we have any questions before we move on? Cool. Advanced tech and theory. All right, so Dang, I should have asked how many coins can you get. Okay, anyways, you can only get 10 coins in this game. I don't know if you knew that. Sorry, I don't know why I'm pointing you out, but
I do know this.
Okay,
I
good.
feel like this.
I'm glad because
I spent 50 hours in this game.
okay, good. All right, what you got?
I think you actually did know that, actually.
Oh,
I would have been telling you.
see me after class. We'll talk about it. All right, 10 coins is the max you can get. Why do you need coins? Coins. Each coin gives you a speed boost, maximum speed of about 1%. That doesn't sound like a lot, but in a 2, 3, 4 minute race, that adds up really fast. You should be prioritizing coins every single race, especially at the beginning of a race. For runners, I wrote down you prioritize it in lap 1. Honestly, if it's like the end of lap 3 and you only have 2 points, you should probably not focus on getting coins. You should be focusing on getting mushrooms, on staying in front of other players and being defensive, on making plays against the enemy, stuff like that. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as like it doesn't seem like a lot when you just break each down to 1%, but I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the slowest cart with 10 coins faster than the fastest cart with 0?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1% matters a lot because, like we said, it adds up. And like you said, I mean, even the fastest cart is nothing compared to 10 coins. So get your money up, not your funny up. 10 coins in terms of bagging, also really, really important. If you are goldening up and you are not passing a player who's not even using a mushroom and you're like, what the heck? Why can't I pass this guy? Is he hacking? No, he has more coins than you. Probably. He might be hacking. If it's green, he's probably hacking. All right. Next up, we got soft drifting. I'm gonna. Oh wait, what you got? Sorry to accuse you of hacking.
Mario Kart Tour?
Yes, it is Mario Kart Tour. I just looked up drifting Mario Kart. Like, give me a break. Okay. Soft
You
drifting.
get all of your references on your own with screenshots.
Yeah, no, I
actually gameplay.
If you don't know what soft drifting is really important if you want to get fast very easily because it matters for every single drift you take, and it will slowly add up time just like coins. Soft drifting is when you put your controller joystick at a 45 degree. That's 45 degrees, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's a little under 40.
Well, no, you're push to like 30.
All right. There's also leniency. It's not exactly 45. It's within a range. So as long as you're within around 45 degrees, that is where soft drifting is. In this picture, I know it's Mario Kart Tour, I'm sorry. In this picture, Mario is taking a right turn. If Mario, the player, goes like this while he's drifting, he will charge his mini turbo really fast. What he will not do is be fast while he's charging his mini turbo. That is really important. And the reason that matters is because while Mario is charging this mini turbo for this entire, I think this is Toad Circuit a lot.
Yeah, it's Toad Circuit.
While he's charging that, he's actually losing time to someone who's soft drifting. If you're at a 45-degree angle, you are charging your mini turbo just as fast as if you held it at 90 degrees, which is weird, I know, but once you know it and once you use it, it will make sense. If Mario holds it at a 45-degree angle, he will charge the mini turbo just as fast, but he will also be driving faster on the ground.
In a wider line, like you'll be staying a bit like if you hold it straight to the like for this example, if you hold it straight tight, you're probably going to end up crashing into the grass. With soft drifting, you can have
you might need to wiggle your stick.
The faster charge time while also keeping a good like straight line down the track.
Yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to if you've never soft drifted before, but yes, soft drifting is really, really important. If you need help with it, please let us know. We can show you what it looks like to soft drift in a track. Whatever you need help with, we're here. Next up, we have delayed drifting. Okay, delayed drifting is a little bit different, and it's also something where if you didn't know what it was, you probably will never know, because it's usually only something that once you're taught it, you know, but if you just hear about it, it doesn't really make sense. Delayed drifting is where instead of, actually I don't know why I got rid of the joystick. Anyways, instead of holding right to do this startless right drift, so you know you press ZR and you press the joystick right, that starts your right drift, but you also, in your hop, will align yourself to the right. That is not delayed drifting. Delayed drifting is when I press ZR without holding anything on my stick, and then before I land, I hold right on my joystick. in a soft drift as well, also optimal. When I do this, if I hold right on the joystick before I hop, then I will be at a tighter angle and therefore I will not be able to charge my mini turbo as fast. If I hold neutral on the joystick and then as I land, I hold right, I actually will be at a wider angle, which allows me to charge the mini turbo faster because I can turn it in tighter. If it's kind of weird to explain. That it makes sense. Come see me in office hours. But that's kind of the basics of it. Anybody else got something to say about delay drifting? What you got?
Yeah, there's videos on this that explain it better than trying to.
Better than me too.
Better than just trying to make you imagine it like with a lecture.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's not with soft drifting. It's that you can charge your mini turbo faster while like not drifting as heavily as possible. It's less about charging it quickly and more about like giving yourself enough like angular space to charge it. Because if you are turning as sharply as possible, like you have a certain amount of time before you turned all the way and you can't turn anymore, and at that point you just have to release your foot. But with delay drifting, your cart stays pointed forward for as long as possible, so then you have more space to get the drift at.
Yeah. There's really good resources. I might send one in the Discord later. That could help. They could make it easier to visualize. But yeah, soft drifting, delay drifting. If you're doing these at every turn that you can possibly do it at, you will be making up incredible time. You'll beat your time trials easily, very easily, if you start implementing it. Hopping, we're playing 6v6. You might be bagging in the back. You might be on baby park, and you're facing backwards. Do you reverse, turn around all the way? No. What you do is you hop 3 or 4 times while you're holding the right on the joystick, and then you can turn around really fast, or if you hit a wall, you can turn around really fast. Hopping is important. What you got?
Unless you're on inward.
Oh yeah, well,
Sorry. But
hopping doesn't work quite as well on inside drift, yeah. MT better than UMT. Okay, this is applicable in certain scenarios, and it's kind of niche, but it is important to note that there are different turns where if you charge 2 super mini turbos, that's the orange one. This is the blue one, but an orange one is a super mini turbo. If you're charging an orange mini turbo twice, it is usually always faster than one ultra mini turbo, which is the purple one. And if you don't know what a purple mini turbo is, and it's because you're using smart steering, then please see me after class because we need to talk about that.
Smart steering has like 2 usages.
Yeah, it's not. Well, okay, yes. We're not getting there. I didn't put that in the slideshow. We can talk about it later. Okay, maximizing shock odds. I was talking about this earlier. Okay, so as you can see here, we have Mario Kart Stadium. This one's actually labeled so I know what track it is. Does someone actually want to explain to me what's going on in this picture? Any of our players, do you want to come explain it?
Go to code shock spawn, like start spawn.
Yes.
Set locations.
Yes, so not where to use it, but where you can pull it, where the best odds are for you to pull it. So this is Mario Kart Stadium. You're going to go this way. So this is the first item set. There's only single boxes here. There's a double box, but it's color coded. So on this red item set, if you're coming here and it's lap 2 or maybe lap 3, and we say we need shock, what you should be doing is you should be getting these items when first place is at this location. If you want to start, you should be waiting until first place is at this location. But if you want to shock, you do have to be in 9th or 12th, which they're probably far enough anyways where you're going to be in that place. Regardless, this is a shock map. This is going to be in the bot commands channel for every war we do. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be posted for each track as you're playing it. What I like to do, especially if you're new to this kind of thing, is if you have 2 monitors, pull this up and like click on it to zoom in on your one monitor, and then on the other monitor you can be playing. If you need to go for shock, you can look at this map and reference it for where the best odds are. If you want to learn about why this works, we can talk about the MK blog later. But yeah, it's kind of based on just item probabilities and what your best chances are. That's all you really need to know about this.
Why are there 2 star spots in the boost?
So that's for if they're taking the
They're taking the
or if they're going around.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Because first,
Good question.
Sure, they'll probably take the shortcut, or if they're using a divider strat, and then if they don't, you'll see them on the bottom half.
Yeah. Any other questions? I know most of you actually, I don't know most, but probably a lot of you have not seen this exact kind of map before. But yeah, it's important and it's kind of an advanced technique, I would say. I wouldn't really worry about it until you're like better at your driving. But yes, it is very important. Next up, we got the boosted roll. The boosted roll, which we talked about a little bit earlier, is interesting. So, as we talked about earlier, you can only pull 2 powerful items at an item set. Now, this is always the case except for moving item sets. However, you can use other things to your advantage. You can also not pull certain items twice. For instance, the star, the triple mushroom, there's some more, I don't know, yeah, the bullet bill. You can't pull those items more than once. That means if I go into an item set and I have a star, I shouldn't use the star before I go into the double. I should go into the double, pick up one item, use my star, then pick up another item. What this does, this will maximize the odds. I think with a boosted, okay, I might need correction here, but I think with a boosted roll, if you're doing one boosted roll for like 3 sets, you have about a 10% chance of pulling shot, which is pretty good. Now, I will say, even if you're doing all the things, you're in the correct spot, you're doing boosted rolls, there are gonna be times where you're going for shock and you're like, I did everything right, and you still don't pull shock. That's okay. Mario Kart was not built to be a strategic game. It was built to be a party game, which, you know, we play it competitively, but yeah, that's another question. Yeah, moving boxes, like I said, if it's a moving box, you can pull infinite powerful items as long as the race is still going. And then yeah, boosted roll increases your shock odds from 2 to 8%, which is really, really good.
Is the variance on that due to what item you bring into the boosted roll?
It's due on that. It's also due on other things. I didn't mention it in here, but like we said earlier, there's only so many of each item you can pull some items, like a bullet bill.
Yeah.
There can only be 3 bullet bills on a track at once. If there's 3 bullet bills, that means you cannot pull a bullet bill, which means the odds of shock have drastically increased,
Yes.
especially in the back spots. Is there a question? Okay, cool.
I'll just ask how centers.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, see me after this. We'll have a long talk.
Our off star is Dia, DC, or DC person?
Raising Kings.
Yeah.
Okay, so advanced item theory. Yeah, we've talked a lot about using items defensively. Please use them defensively as well. Neutral shocks. In terms of calling the shock, if we don't have a good opportunity to use the shock by targeting the other enemy players, we can just use it as a neutral shock, which means that we don't necessarily have an advantage, but like I mentioned earlier, we know when the shock is going to be used and the other team doesn't, which gives us an inherent advantage. Bullet bill extensions. If you don't know, there's a handy dandy, give me 1 second. There's a handy dandy website called Shortcut.pro. If you don't know who Shortcut is, huh?
I love his website that he didn't steal.
He didn't steal. He made it.
I thought he copied basically all the information from somewhere else.
Well, he like collabed with people, but it's his website. If you don't know who Shortcut is, good for you. You probably have a life. If you do know who Shortcut.pro is, you know he's a very reliable person. Yeah, you're ahead. You should go to this website. This website has every single track's bullet bill extensions. Now, if you don't know, Cheeseland, very popular example of a bullet bill extension. Basically what a bullet bill extension does is Nintendo has hard-coded places where if you use a bullet bill, you will be using it for a certain amount of time. The Cheeseland one is very popular because I believe it can go from 10 to 12 seconds.
It's like if you're lucky, like if you don't get dropped early.
Yeah, which is really, really good. Yeah, it also takes a lot of short turns.
That's what the extensions are designed for. They're hard coded in places where there are sharp turns that getting dropped off from a bullet bill that you don't control will just careen you into like a wall or off the edge or something. They are places where you literally can't be dropped because it would be so unfun.
Yeah, bullet bill extension's really important. What you got?
So you mentioned that there's during wars there'll be like you'll have like a Discord bot that'll show the map for like shock and
Yeah.
That'll be in a different text chat.
Well, you have that map. Is there a map that has that for the bot, or am I gonna have to go on Shortcut Pro to type of.
No, there.
Wait for the bullet bill
The bullet
extensions?
bill extensions.
Funnily enough, there is a bot on Discord that has that.
Do we have it?
We have it. We will not be using it, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
It clogs that channel like crazy.
Crazy. And
Every single bullet bill extension is put on that, and it also has like an AI description of where to use it.
Oh.
So it's like really long.
I would say in a race, you can ask. You can say, "Hey, where's a good spot to use bill?" And people will
Absolutely.
after the first set.
Do that. If you don't know where a bullet bill extension is on the track, someone like me or Green who has too many hours in this game will probably be like, use it on the first turn of lap 2 or
I
whatever.
know most of them, but there's just a couple that just like I forget.
Yeah, which is totally understandable. There's so many bullet bill extensions, you should not know all of them.
Or
Unless you're
it's designed to be able, like, you can just type something in really quickly, like, after the track is selected, you can
Yeah.
pull it up, like, really fast, and it'll just show you the locations, and you can just, commit it to short-term memory.
Yes. If you haven't realized yet, Mario Kart is a game that is a lot of randomness, but if you know what random is going to happen, you can control what's going to happen for you a lot better and your teammates. So yeah, we basically are trying to control the random. That's what the bullet bill extensions are. That's what knowing the shock map is. Yeah. Anything else? Bullet bill extensions. Most of y'all probably know what that is. You probably watch a shortcut short. I know who you are. Okay, the next thing I have, I honestly thought that there would be at least one person in here who had like never done competitive before, at least in terms of like nothing. But you guys all know what you're doing. I'm just gonna go over some shortcuts really fast because it has been like an hour. But first up, we have DK Mountain. At the end of each lap, there's a shortcut at the end. For all of these, I will say, if you need help learning them or you want to know what to do, please come ask us. Yeah. What's
There's
up?
like so many guides on like especially the big ones here. Like you can find a bunch of guides online as well.
Oh yeah.
Don't feel afraid to ask. We all had to learn these at some point.
Yes. And I will say, like, you can go and do these yourself, but if you ask someone what to do, it makes your life so much easier, especially in some of the ones like Dragon Driftway. If you don't know what you're doing there, it will seem like you're doing everything right and you still miss it. So if you just know what to do, how the setup works, then you can easily make these.
Yeah, especially if you can have someone just like quickly watch your attempts for like 3 attempts, then they can usually steer you in the right direction.
Or if you can like clip the 30-second clip button on
Yeah.
the Switch, send that in the Discord and be like, hey, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do? We can usually help you. Next up, these are just like important ones. There's definitely a lot more than I've just listed. I have like more than just these 3, but Hyrule Circuit, we play this track a lot. We also play DK Mountain a lot. But Hyrule Circuit has a no item shortcut and NISC at the end of it. You should always be using it. You should always be cutting over the grass. If you need help learning that, please let us know. DK Summit, probably maybe the most notorious shortcut in all of Mario Kart. But anyways, yes, very important to know in this game. There's very fast ways to pull it off, especially if you have 2 mushrooms. And that's where you can use smart steering, but yeah, we'll get into that later. Mushroom Gorge, we talked about it earlier. Seems like all of you know what this is. You can cut over the fence. It's a little bit harder. If you need help with that, let me know. We also have Peach Gardens. Peach Gardens, if you did not know, we picked this track somewhat just because we're funny. We picked it the other day, and we're not insanely good at it, but it's still fun. Peach Gardens, if you did not know, this shortcut at the beginning of laps 1 and 2, it is actually still faster to go through the grass, if you know what you're doing, than going around without a mushroom. You essentially are just going to mini turbo before you hit the grass and then hop over it. It saves you about maybe 2 seconds, not even that, like, what's the item set though? Huh?
No, you get the other side.
Yeah, you get that item set.
Okay. New City, don't worry about that one.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean?
We have unironically started picking Mute City, and I don't know how it started. By the way, for these, I looked up which tracks we've been playing. Mute City, I don't know why we started picking it. It's a pretty bad track. Thank you.
Fire!
But it has a good soundtrack. It looks cool, but like
It's awesome.
driving is terrible. I'm sorry.
That shortcut pisses me off.
This shortcut can be pulled off itemless. If you don't know where this shortcut is, that's okay. This game has a lot of shortcuts. Yeah, you'll be fine.
It's not that bad.
That's so late.
The itemless shortcut?
Yeah.
I would say it's like maybe top 3. Top 3 hardest cuts in the game.
I
can't. I'm not very good at them.
You probably could get world record if you could.
So that's
Oh,
why
wait.
gap would be on mushroom gorge would be hard. I don't know if it's-
Okay, that also makes sense. Hey, we accept everybody here, okay? Even if we don't like them, all right? Next up, if you didn't know, I actually mentioned this to Hero the other day, and I also really like this track. We'll probably be picking it because it's a specialty track. Ninja Hideaway. If you didn't know, there's a shortcut where you go through these. If you're using a mushroom, you can just shroom right through them. But also, you don't even need an item. If you hit the wall to the left while you're in a drift, or while you're in a mini turbo boost, then you actually can hit these because you're not going fast enough to get like spun out by it, and you get to destroy them and then go in the shortcut anyways. So yeah, if you need help with that one, again, let me know. That's another really good shortcut. It's also very niche of a track slash shortcut. So yeah, I really like that one. Okay, I have some homework. This is not literally your homework, but it is some. Oh my gosh, that's the microphone. So sorry. This is not literally your homework, but if you want to do this, please by all means. I said this isn't actually your homework, but I do really want everyone to go and do this. I will put this in the Discord. There's a website called MK Central. All of you need to go to MK Central and make an account. It's free. You're going to use it for every tournament you're in, pretty much anything. It's also really useful if you want to do stuff outside of collegiate Mario
Also
Kart.
needed for lounge.
Yes, it's needed for lounge. Yeah, Mario Kart Central takes all of maybe 2 minutes. Time trial, we talked about it earlier. We hate time trialing. We all do, minus some freaks. Yeah, we don't like time trialing, but yes, please go time trial. We'll probably do time trial of the week, maybe next week. So, yeah, that's your homework.
I feel like if you don't make it opt off the team, it's just gonna be like this.
I don't know. No, we might. No.
In general, I would say just for time trials, just like watch the world record team and see what looks.
Double bless you.
But like, look, whenever I'm racing ghosts in order to learn a track, I actually try and find a ghost that's like 5 seconds off the world record as my first like watch through.
Yeah, Luxtone actually holds the world record on Great Block block ruins on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If you didn't know, so yeah.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. That's
Yeah.
What?
Here's some resources I use.
Invisible Rainbow Road in Mario Kart.
All right. Save it for after class, guys. All right. Spicy's Comp 101 still his slides. HD Rookie, great person. Also has some great guides. Shortcat Pro, I just said that. Shortcat also has a great YouTube channel. All right. Any other questions? Anything? Cool. Oh, yes.
Why spoon?
Why? What?
Why is your username Spoon?
Why spoon? Good
Why
question.
spoon? Okay, that's a great question actually. And you know what?
That's a great.
You get a Starburst for that. Because I want to give out more Starbursts. Actually, the reason that happened is because I didn't know what I wanted my username to be, and so I plugged, or I looked up a random noun generator, and the first thing that it came up with was spoon. So that's how I asked my name.
With your grandma.
What? How'd you know that? All right. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, if you guys have anything to talk to me, to Green, to Luxtone, those are some of our, and also Grayson. Grayson's cool. If you guys have questions, please come ask us. Thank you all for coming. This is recorded. I'm going to post it on YouTube eventually. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I think some of us are going to go to Raising Cane's if y'all want to join. So, yeah, thank y'all for coming. Go Dogs.
Okay, y'all.